Hey, I'm the NetherRealm Nobody, and this is the Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, Episode 8, The Secret of Quan Chi review. Alrighty, so Quan Chi, he has gotten his hands on this, sacred ancient stone, right? And the stone has the power to basically bring out the inner evil inside anyone. And he plans on using that against the defenders. Alrighty, so we start things off with Quan Chi. And the crazy thing about this is actually the first appearance of Quan Chi across any Mortal Kombat medium. This episode debuted before Mortal Kombat 4 or Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. So yeah, we're getting debuting Quan Chi here. And it starts off, you see a battle between the defenders and the cybernetic Lin Kuei, ninja warriors. And but it turns out it's Quan Chi kind of looking to the future. He's a pool of, I don't know, premonition, something or other. He throws a lot of mystical terms out there for you. So, but anyways, he sees it. And so we cut to the cave hideout headquarters of the defenders, and we get Jax and Sonya, and they're sparring, and then Sonya calls Jax blubberbutt, which Jax loses his shit like insane, right? And we find out, he goes, when he was a kid, he was fat, the fattest kid in school, and everybody called him blubberbutt. So Sonya's like, hey, don't worry, I'm not going to say nothing to nobody. And so anyways, there is a rift in the dimensional fabric or whatever. And Earthrealm is being hacked somewhere in Iceland. So, all the defenders jump in the jets and they head out that way. They get out there and boom, Lin Kuei, cybernetic warriors pop out, and there's a shit ton of them. And so it's just the battle we've saw. And again, I keep bringing this up in every review, but it's because everyone complains about how non-violent and how weak this Mortal Kombat cartoon was. It's like these cybernetic warriors, it's established in the game that a lot of them still have their soul inside of them, which means when Sonya Blade knocks one into this fire pit or whatever, and it explodes on impact, that's a death. She killed somebody. That happened. And you're seeing them, everyone's beating the shit out of these cybernetic warriors, and one gets thrown into one tar pit thing, it comes up and just disintegrates. So it's we're getting tons of death left and right on this show. I don't know what everyone's bitching about, but whatever. So while they are all fighting these cybernetic warriors, Quan Chi, and he's got this whole snake thing going on. He's got the staff of a snake on it. It becomes a belt at one point. It's a pet. It's a weapon. I don't know. Dude's got the harness power of the snake. I don't know. I didn't play a lot of the Quan Chi in the game. I was a Ridge Tridge kind of guy. I played the first three nonstop and only dabbled a little bit later on. Is Snake a part of Quan Chi's thing? Let me know in the comment section down below. I have no clue. Anyways, so the Quan Chi opens up a portal in the Amazon somewhere, or Peru. No, sorry, it was the Peru. And so he's in Peru, and he heads into this, it turns out, they mentioned it once before that, Earthrealm is kind of the crossroads between other realms. So Quan Chi, hits the ride to Cesara. I think we mentioned that before in when Scorpion was trying to resurrect, or not Scorpion, was it Kano? Somebody's trying to resurrect Shang Tsung, and it was Zathara was the whatever, the realm or whatever. So Quan Chi's there, and he gets this big ass ruby thing. It's guarded by a giant skull, a flaming skull, but again he uses his little snake staff that produces a snake, that produces a snake out of its mouth, which produces multiple snakes that wrap around it and just carry it off. Brilliant. And then Quan Chi, he gets it. So at this point, Nightwolf's hey, we got a rift in, Peru. Of course, they're too busy fighting all these, cybernetic warriors. They finally do get into their jets and take off. So they're in Peru, and they're trying to figure out, what the heck. And then a rift opens up, and this young boy comes running out, pale as shit. And he's just I escaped. I fled from the outworld. And, I'm in your debt. Please, help me. And he reaches into his bag. He's like, I got nothing for you but this. And Stryker's already like, whoa, I'm former Riot Squad. That could be a bomb. I don't know. I'm blocking you. But he pulls out the jewel. And it reminds me like, you guys remember the cartoon Heavy Metal? The animated movie Heavy Metal? With all the titties and everything in it? There's one short in that where it's an orb that everyone who laid eyes on it went psychotic. Oh, they do it in American Dad also, the golden turd. There's like all the jewels and shit on it. Same thing. Every time someone sees it, brings out the evil in him. Well, that's what happens. And he's, he has it out. And the only one who doesn't quite crack initially is Katana. The other 5 are just like instantly brain mush. But Katana's like, we can't accept that or whatever. But of course, the kid is like, oh, you've already accepted it. And he runs back into the, dimensional rift. So, at this point now, the 6 go back to home base where they are bickering hardcore. Like we get Stryker and Sub-Zero, they're fighting over, Stryker's like, you went too fast, you almost wrecked us back there. And that's their whole beef the entire time. Of course, Sonya and Jax are still bickering, to which Sonya is constantly now calling Jax blubberbutt, and then tells everybody, hey, he was fat in school. And that, it just sends Jax off the deep end. I'm not gonna lie, Jax is becoming my least favorite character on this show. Like, he's such a bitch. Like, he's seriously, he pout. Like, when he didn't have his metal arms, he's like whining. And now he's called blubberbutt. The dude's jacked as fuck. Like, I don't care how insecure you think he was at one point. Get over it. You can bang any of those chicks there. You know he's got the BBC going on, and giant metal arms to boot. What's he bitching about? And yet, he's literally over there like, don't call me blubberbutt. Anyways, he does. I can't remember if it's this or if it's later. I think it's later. But he drops some harsh shit on Sonya. He's like, yeah, that's rich coming from you. You're such a loser. You let your old partner get killed. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, for striking below the belt here. So anyways, Nightwolf instantly is like, yeah, clearly something's up here. You guys are all fighting. What's going on? And the only other thing that's bickering is, we don't get any bickering between Katana and Liu Kang, but it's Sonya and Katana. And whenever Sonya goes after Katana, Liu Kang steps in there, and she's like, oh yeah, we can't mess with Liu Kang's girl if you ever admit it. Ew! It's pretty ridiculous. But anyways, so, sorry, I'm fighting a cold too. Probably should have done this, but whatever. So anyways, Raiden shows up, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. And instantly, Katana's the only one. And I guess because she's maybe from another realm, and that's maybe why she isn't quite as affected as the others. But she quickly tells him, Raiden what's going on. And of course, Raiden pieces it together. And he's like, yes, this is Stonus. It's from Cesara. Or Zasara. Tatsui? The Stone of Tatsui, or something like that. Anyways, he's like, yeah, the Stone of Tatsui. And instantly Katana's like, oh, that's Quan Chi. I recognize that boy now. That was Quan Chi. And they know he is this, like, renegade, lone sorcerer. And, clearly he's using it. And the thing is, like, he can harness the power, but it'll affect him. So you have to take it back to its, like, starting place. In Sathara, you gotta put it back in there, And so he's like, you guys gotta destroy the stone, because if not, within a day, you guys are gonna be so evil that you're gonna probably kill each other. And so they decide to, head out there. And Raiden sends Nightwolf with him, because clearly he's the only one who's not infected, to try to, help him out. So Nightwolf and Kiva go with him. And, of course, Raiden can't, he can't do anything because he's powerless. And, Sathara. So that can't be what I'm saying, right? Because Sathara's the Jumanji 2 sequel, right? Sahara? Cesara? Cesara, that's what it was, Cesara. And so anyways, they head off in their fighter jets to Cesara. And anyways, so they get there, they're looking around, again, fighting amongst each other. Nightwolf finally is like, I'm gonna look, Kiva's sniffing it out, we'll go, you guys hang back. They're still bitching, but then boom, an army of rock monsters pop up. Now, they're fighting them pretty good. These rock monsters are weak as shit. You hit them, they just disintegrate. But while they're fighting, they keep bumping into each other and pissing each other off even more. And so then, before they can really get down to blows, though, Nightwolf's like, guys, come and see this. And they look, and there is Tatsui, which is just like this giant energy ball, and the stone's inside there. How you get inside there, I have no idea. But they magically are just now walking through caves, and they come upon the stone. And so now they're like, one of us has got to destroy it. Only the strongest of you can do it. Because at this point, Quan Chi's, his face is coming up, and all these, I guess, ice, I'm guessing, like little ice chunks everywhere. And of course, they're like, only the strongest can do it. And then they start fighting amongst each other. Who is the strongest? And at this point, they're not holding back. Like, Sonya's the first one to throw her special. She fucking energy rings the shit out of Katana in the back, and then they all start fighting. It's funny because the animation gets really bad. If you look at one point, Stryker and Sub-Zero square off. Because the girls fight each other, Jax and Liu Kang are fighting each other, and Stryker and Sub-Zero. But, like, when you do the pullback shot, like, Stryker is literally just, like, moving his arm up and down, and, like, Sub-Zero is just punching, and they just repeat that animation over and over. Looks ridiculous. I was so focused on that, I didn't even get to see the other two, see what their fighting was good or not. I just saw that, my eye was drawn to that, and that's all it was. Just on a loop. Ridiculous. So anyways, Nightwolf, he's tracking it down, and of course Quan Chi realizes, oh shit, he's the one I need to get. So Quan Chi comes up behind him, goes to zap him with the snake thing, lightning bolt. Kiva gets away, takes the bullet, goes down. Of course, Nightwolf goes after Quan Chi. Quan Chi throws the snake at him. Snake wraps around his legs, trying to bite him. However, the only one that can kind of break through again is Katana. Because, like, Nightwolf at one point, like, reaches up, because they're all fighting each other. They're not paying attention to him or Quan Chi. And he's just like, please, somebody, And Katana's the only one I guess he can kind of mind meld with, or kind of, hey, snap out for a second. She comes over, kicks the snake off. Snake disintegrates against the wall. And then that somehow breaks it, like the mental spell. And they all kind of snap out of it. And they all look at Quan Chi. And he's like, oh, shit. And then Nightwolf, he's able to snap out enough time. He gets his little tomahawk thing, and he shatters the stone. Which Quan Chi's like, fuck. And then he just turns into smoke and disappears. So at this point now, Tatsui is falling apart, and they all escape. And then they get back home. And of course, Raiden's proud of him, and we get a nice little wrap up. And he's like, yep, and then you guys have said some horrible things to each other, and it's going to take about a month to undo all that. So, start apologizing. And, like, Sonya's the only one that apologizes to Jax for calling him Blubberbutt. And then we just end the episode, and I'm like, Jax, you dick. You definitely called out Sonya, who is the most sensitive when it comes to her partner dying, and rightfully so. That's a human being who is her partner, who she feels like she let down and died on her watch, pretty much. And nothing is said of it again. And I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, and that's the end of the episode. That's the end of episode 8, The Secret of Quan Chi. One thing about this episode, I enjoyed it. It's very childlike, I guess. It's very whatever. The plot's very kiddish. The whole calling each other elementary level insults. It is what it is. With the exception of Jax dropping the fucking hammer with, you let your partner die. That's pretty fucked up. But everything else was whatever. But it was cool seeing Quan Chi show up. I like that we have a deep roster of villains at this point. Even at this point, back in 98, we had, or was this 97? No, sorry, I'm getting way ahead of myself. 96. So even back in 96, we had a deep roster of just awesome villains. So, liked it from that standpoint. Storyline's a little weak, but I don't know. It was all right. I mean, it would have been better, I guess, if they actually tried to go murderous on each other. But again, it is a cartoon for kids, and I'm not that dick like you guys shitting all over. But it's all right. It wasn't bad. I quit trying to do this in order. I'm gonna wait till the very last episode, and I'll do a rundown of the episodes, and I'll rank them, my favorite or whatnot. So there you guys have it. That's episode 8. Have you guys seen it? Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in particular. I'm dying to know what you guys thought of it. That's all I got, guys. Thank you for watching. Till next time.